polish your skills, right? Because it looks like you are the most motivated to get the job offers and pass interviews to ASU interviews, right? Okay,
It's very good.
so how are you? Good?
Great with Ramadan.
Fasting, right,
Uh,
Lilith?
I'm just logging in from the computer for the screen and from the mobile for the audio, so
Okay,
I
okay,
hope you don't mind.
okay. Good morning, Lilith.
Good morning. Sorry, my computer decided to do some updates today.
Okay, that's like Mercury retrograde as possible. So, Petra is in Istanbul. Amalia don't know where she is, but Petra told like I'm at the boat, I cannot connect, right? So, okay, what we will do today? What actually I wanted to do is some sort of recap. That we will do some sort of like the getting like your questions and feedback and recap on the module 3 and what will be on the next module. But because I understand it's morning, for some is like closer to lunch, so that it will be like first 10 minutes we will do some sort of recap so that like take your coffee and waking up properly. So the point is that why I'm again showing this corpse cycle of reflection, because it's actually the more alterations we do in terms of the training of interviews and going through the questions, that the new knowledge will pass through the practice, and that will be becoming like more pattern of behavior or the more pattern of how to answer the questions, so that you already have some experience and now you know what to do, how to respond and how not to respond. Then we practice embedding this into your behavior, right, on interviews, and then like getting new theory, like embedding this through the prism of new theory, and correcting what was not working in the past. Because actually, if you see some questions that provoking or triggering, like that you have responded wrong in the past, this is learning. This is not mistake. That time you didn't know about that. This is learning, because consider failure is a success in progress. So that what is actually happening is like brick. It's like when we're building the house brick by brick, right? Or like ladder. So this point is that you have this situation in the past when you have responded in the wrong way, and you analyze the situation, what actually how you responded, what went wrong. There are some emotions attached to the situation, because like you feel discomfort, you are not satisfied, etc. So it's actually look at the situation and separate emotions from facts, because you had not that skill, that time to respond on the proper way, right? So this is the point, is that when we are separating that like past experience, we look at the facts, what went wrong, and how I do better next time, because you're already getting the theory and how you will be able to respond next time. You will have few versions how you can respond, right? And these emotions, it's energy. It comes back to you like just okay, that how you will use this energy, that actually defines. That they have like the facts and emotions we separate from the facts, like what I learned, how I can do better, and emotions or energy is coming back to you, because this actually you need energy every time. But you are closing this past experience, like putting this in a cave, because what actually matters, that once psychologically we clean this past, okay, that was in the past, that is actually, I didn't know how to behave that time, I didn't know how to respond, that more like that should not trigger you anymore because you already grew through this situation. You analyzed what went wrong and how you will do next time better. You got it, right? So this is actually, by that, we are preventing throwing our energy constantly and closing these black holes from the past, because they should not now, like, it will be still triggering, but it's actually, if its trigger is less every time going forward, it's already the good progress. Because that's why I'm just also telling that why we need to document success stories, because success stories is the background how you will be entering the interview, because this is actually a source of dopamine hormone. Then, for example, before the interview, you have your stress, your level of adrenaline and cortisol is very high. And what's actually happening in our body when it's like, okay, that's adrenaline is actually acting 15 seconds, but cortisol is acting for hours. And it takes like a lot of activities, like slow down activities to slow down this hormone. But when we're in interview, what's happening like on our body? The point is that when the adrenaline and cortisol is very high, so they start impacting our prefrontal part of the brain. It's actually where making decisions. This is like our forehead, like the behind the forehead is like actually our neurocortex is placed, and which is actually responsible for the fast reaction, for the making decision, especially during the interview, because we need to collect the information and that like which story to tell, how to respond, and we need to provide like very confident response so that we are getting like positive feedback from the other side, and we need to prove our skills. But adrenaline and cortisol is impacting, that's actually our neurocortex, is because of this important, like it's shrinking to the very small part, and by let's say 90%, like okay, 100% is shrinking like to 10 or 20% by this 10 or 20%, because we are stressed, we are making decisions from this 10 or 20%. So it's actually what's happened, because how to neutralize this, right? We will not be able to eliminate the stress completely, but we can reduce it. And we know how to to reflect on this, like how to reduce this. So it's actually 10, 15 minutes before interview, read your success stories. Personal success stories, professional success stories, to recap. So it's actually when you're reading your success stories, how you performed in the past, how you improved the some performance of the project or grew 450% like in the sales, like within a certain period of time. So it's actually what's happening in our body when we are reading this, we feel good. So it's actually body start producing dopamine and one more hormone, I don't remember which one. So it's actually, we feel good. It's actually this dopamine start not fighting, but actually helping to increase our this 10 and 20% to the bigger area. Like let's say, even if it's like increased to the 50%, when you go to the interview with the 50% of stress, this is okay. But if you will be with 10%, it will be very difficult to perform. So that's why when I'm telling that having your success stories like in the file, in the notes, maybe printed, maybe some presentation already. So actually it helps, because you can you remember, you have recap like okay, 7-10 stories, or you will just remember some past achievements and actually document. I completed this course, this is achievement. I moved this country, I moved to some so many countries, I learned these languages. And even up to childhood, when you start driving, like riding a bike, this is a skill, right? So this is the point, is that why I'm telling you this, because our brain constructed such a way, it will be piling or filing our failures and bad situations. It's wired such a way to remember like these drawbacks, to remember the situation. But the good stories are cleaned up from the memory, and if we will not record this timely, it's forgotten. This is actually why I'm just telling you that when we're asking for recommendations from other people, they don't remember what to write. So what I'm just like because we forget, we need to remind where we work together, etc., what the common achievements. But the point is that if you will keep success stories or even recording, okay, I applied at the end of the day, I applied this skill, or I was able to analyze this, it actually will help you like that. You will be creating the new habit of noticing where you went right, like when you did something like really in a good manner, you progressed, you did today better 5% than yesterday, and the next day another 5%, and in 50 days it will be like already 250% better, right? So the point is that this is actually like the gratitude to yourself, it's recognition, and also will help. So it's even like waking up on Sunday morning for have like this session, this is also achievement, right? Okay, why I'm doing this recap, where we are, right? So this is the scheme of our interviews. When we go into the interview, so that like first module when we covered like, okay, preparing for interview, why we need to pass with recruiters, with the HR, and mostly we are going with the hiring managers. So it's actually this part of the candidate self-presentation, answers to interview questions, and questions from candidate. This candidate self-presentation and answers to interviews question that will be on all three types of interview. Questions to candidates will be most likely with the hiring manager, but also with the HR possible. And then you see that the last one, which we will cover that on the module 4, thank you letter and follow-up email, that is actually we will cover on the last module because most candidates forget about this. But questions from candidates, and when you will pass all this, then it will be the discussion about salary package. More serious discussion, because it started will be with the recruiters, but then just discussing this like when Amal, when you are discussing this, like when it's already like that, it means like you are selected. That's already like discussing like, okay, in terms of the package, it's just like this is the last the company wants you, and they're just assessing like in terms of the budget. Okay, so here we are. This is like roadmap, like referring to our 4 sessions, right? So that we started like for the previous slide, like preparation, then interview process, because that was very big. Like when we covered self-presentation, today we will do some sort of recap on the self-presentation as well, and epic failure, because that you need to practice the answers, right? I shared the theory today. I shared the theory manager lead questions. These manager lead questions mostly relate when the person is more on the managerial level or like leadership position, like it's like C-suite, like it's already like higher position. It's not junior positions. This one, if it's just like manager question style, it might be applicable to the people who potentially they see the potential for the growth for the next level. That be prepared, like Amal, probably this also for you, because you don't manage people now, but you want to grow, and this is better to be prepared for these questions and know your communication style, because this is actually more about not only knowledge but also the practice. Motivation questions, this is why you want to choose why you want to join this company. Questions to the company, it's very important, because the quality of your questions will define like your quality as candidate. and you can prepare like 3 questions, but I suggest to prepare more questions. And like with the quality of question will define like with the conversation, you know, because a lot of people, from my practice, what I saw, at least 60% are not asking questions. But no, I don't have questions. It's actually minus, because that is like, I want to build like your attitude also in that respect, that not only you are chosen, you choose the company, because this is your time of life. This is your selling your time in exchange for the contract. And it matters with whom you're working, what the impact the company does, right? And salary packages, that will be like really good discussion today. Okay, so this is actually what I was showing before, the roadmap, like a little bit more in detail and where we are, because it's module 2 and 3 is actually covering almost everything, like you're 80% prepared for interview. Then the next at module 4, we will be covering AI tools, because what to know when you will be preparing for AI interviews, what specific, like then what specifics of virtual interviews, what specifics, like I will also share my board like with the tools on AI preparation, and it will be like really more follow up and wrapping up like what the open questions are. Okay, so recap is done. So now it's your stage. Like, tell me, like, what you have managed during this week, like how your practice was done. Like, you know, like, have you managed to like analyze the positions and what you have tried, what you have not tried, where you were not successful?
I guess we will have to say one by one.
Yeah.
And I'll go first. So application tracker, I saw the application tracker you shared. It seemed a bit too detailed to me, so I just took some columns. I didn't go that deep, but I mentioned when it was the application, which company, which position, feedback, no feedback. But definitely the tracker that you provided, it was broader, and of course it helps to track better. Maybe I will start using it next. For the beginning, it was only these 4 points to be used. Skill gap analysis, I did it not on the Excel, but I went through and I realized what needs to be done. It was done in my mind, to be honest. But again, that's the next step to do. The company values, you already taught me 1 year ago to do this, so I'm doing it the first step when I'm seeing the vacancy. I'm going and checking the values and seeing how they comply with mine. The uncomfortable questions, I think we discussed them last time. I didn't remember anything more than what we were discussing. I'm really looking forward to the next uncomfortable questions, but my problem is that I'm applying and I'm not getting any feedback, or I'm getting the refusals. So I'm gonna start asking personal contacts to share my resume with their HRs, and maybe use the power of networking to see if anyone can find me anything suitable.
Lilith, do you need the lecture on the job search funnel? I have it in recording.
Yeah, we can
Because
recap.
currently you're using LinkedIn and Network, and so there is another 5 channels. That's actually recruitment agencies, right? Then we have with Petra like really the list of links to the Czech base, but I would not be even like referring only to the Czech ones, but like also like European ones, because that maybe it makes sense to tweak, to expand the job search funnel to target companies and recruitment agencies, and maybe a couple of Telegram channels.
I'm using also the
Glassdoor.
Telegram channel you were sharing with us. The Telegram channel, I'm seeing, unfortunately, they don't have any procurement jobs. I see mostly it's finance, HR, C-level jobs, but not in procurement.
This is actually probably this is the global trend, so the related to supply chain, because AI is taking some jobs, right? So, and in supply chain, because it's actually AI and sustainability merging, and that this is the, let's say, the flex to see what is actually demanded on the market and getting the skills on what is demanded and changing the stream to that part.
Yeah, and one more thing, I also visited the Career Expo, which was happening this week. I collected some contacts from the HRs or from the, basically it was very useful. I recommend everyone, if you have such a job fairs, to visit it, because when I started to apply to some companies, and I realized on the job fair that some of them require Czech knowledge, the fluent Czech, and that basically I eliminate them because I don't have the fluent Czech. Some of them don't care about the Czech language. Some of them explained me how the recruitment process is done, where the AI is interfering with the human choice. So it was very helpful. Thank you for letting me know about this Career Expo, and definitely I will also visit the one in the beginning of April for the expats and the English speaking. I really gathered lots of contacts, and I will just send the resumes to those contacts as well. Maybe at some point they will have something for me.
I think the one in April, see, they usually do this on Saturday.
I think it's the beginning, yeah. The first
Tuesday,
week.
right?
Job Spain, you said.
It's unfortunately, no, I will not be able to visit. But it's actually, before they were doing on Saturday, that was very convenient. And that's like will be more English speaking and like more foreign companies, but it will be not the size like
The
career
Career
fair
Expo.
because it's more governmental. Like there's like I was surprised last day when I saw the police national
Yes,
event
yes,
there.
they had the police. Even the army was trying to really get me in, and I explained that I'm not a Czech citizen. They said, okay, then come in 4 years when you are a Czech citizen. We are looking.
I was really impressed by that. But this job spin is better. Like it's smaller, but it's English speaking, and they have
Okay.
like also workshops like that. Like and it's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on April 1st.
So then, like lecture from my sites, the job search channels, because what we also do for the recruitment agencies, we sell our we write motivation letter and we sell our
Yes.
as a product we sell to the recruitment agencies as well.
Olga, I have a question. The recruitment agencies is a really good idea. I started to send in LinkedIn, but do you have a list of the recruitment agencies which could be
I will share it's the job search channels like file, and I have like exactly what I stated, like the channels, 7 channels, and when it's like recruitment agencies, I have some like for Czechia, for Netherlands, and then like the links are there that you can you can go ahead, and probably it's time. I don't remember we were sharing with the executive search like Paul Pedersen and partners. No, because they were not in active. Because I know Paul Pedersen not in person but online, and I can we can drop like a resume into their database. Because they ask on which country, but they are, I think they're present in 30 countries. But I know the founder.
Okay, very good. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Perfect. Same thing I need.
Margit. Okay, so now you're next.
Lilith has explained everything, or she has talked. She said everything which I want to say. Moreover, I want to create a motivation letter. How to do the motivation letter from?
Yes, I will share the template.
Is it a must to when you apply to submit a motivation letter?
You know, in motivation letter we explain why you, And why,
Mm.
let's say, why me? Like what is good, like, and what values I share with the company, and why I'm good fit for the company, and why you choose this company. Because like ranking, etc. The point is that when you have a lot of resumes,
Yes.
in the past, people use cover letter, please find attached. No one was reading. But when it's motivation letter, like, and you are showing, like, you are helping recruiter to see you better. Because you already explained why you want to join this company. You can in motivation letter, it's only 3 paragraphs, like describe one of the success stories. Like, we just see that the problem company has, okay, I already had that experience because I saw a lot of, not many cases, but what I saw that in reality, when recruiters, because I'm also now studying in the recruitment school, to just listen, if a person explains and they, why you like that, they actually, like, they read this, so good, oh, good, like, and straight away they look at resume and they call on the person that can invite for interview. That's actually differentiate you from other candidates who do not write motivation letters. This is actually, if it will be the similar, let's say, marks, like, 4.5, that will give you extra 0.1, it will be 4.6.
Sure.
But I have to say also, I started to apply to the big corporates recently, right? When they have the open positions, I see this aggressive change from, let's say, last year or a few months ago. First, they ask the salary expectation. They don't even let you write a range. They just give you the place for only one number. I was applying to Johnson & Johnson 2 days ago, and they have no place for the resume, for the motivation letter. You have only one possibility. I tried to upload the second document. It was replacing with the resume.
Okay, if it's like there, like, no place for second document, put like in one document motivation letter and resume in one PDF document and upload this.
That's a good idea, yes. What I did was the first highlight. I mentioned why am I a good choice, etc. So I gave the brief story about my resume in a few sentences, but that's a great idea about the motivation letter to be added to the resume.
For recruitment agencies, we also write motivation letter. It's a little bit different style, but we are selling ourselves to recruitment agencies.
Great, yeah.
Like Siemens, they were asking for motivation letter and references. However, let me ask a question if it is allowed. One of my friends was having a look on the CV and he said that the system, that HR system, which AI system, which
ATS.
ATS, it does not select any frames or any change in fonts. He told me that the font has to be all homogeneous, the same font.
ATS does not accept tables.
Tables.
And design. So ATS, I will share one article about that. And actually, I will share this also in the next one, because resume is not part of our discussion now. It's more interview one. But
Okay,
for
you're
ATS,
correct.
that's why I'm referring to the skill set gap analysis, because that you need to read how the position structured, that what they write, because the same language should be in your customized resume. So that the ATS is structured only for catching up how many words in your resume fitting the position requirements. This is robot. And the point is that, like, ATS might be also not accepting PDF files. That's why we have Word docs format we can send. Actually, what I shared, I sent to you your updated resume yesterday, right? So I reshuffled it and reduced this to the 2 pages plus, but you need to reduce on the number of trainings and put everything on LinkedIn, but for the customized resume, you don't need to put all the trainings. 5 plus will be sufficient. The point is that you always can use, I can share the Word document when you can still placing the content without frames. The most important that the content of resume is already ready, revision 2. Check it like I sent yesterday via LinkedIn.
I'll do.
The point is that the content, because I expanded your self-presentation from 3 lines to 5 or 6, and also highlights like this, and also in terms of the skills. And you always can use AI, ChatGPT, to prepare, like, can you just advise what else I need to add to resume for this position? Okay.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. So do you have questions? Have you had time to practice interview questions?
I was trying personally sometimes, but what happens when I read the job description, because I had one job description which was very interesting to me, and I was actually it was in Siemens. I was creating like a demo in my mind, like how shall we ask, what will be the questions. This is the one, not in general, but I was specific to one job description, one job which I liked. But unfortunately, they sent me an apology letter. They just received the CV and they just replied 2 days back with no answers. That's why I was asking, maybe that they have selected another candidate. That's why I was asking, maybe it is the tables, maybe the format, maybe I should have added motivation letter to get my resume screened. It was looks like a tailor-made, like very suitable. Siemens, similar to my Honeywell jobs, same criteria, yeah.
The more positions you analyze to see the trend, what is actually needed, then that you will have, you will understand more requirements. Okay, changing to the docs format, reapplying again with the revision 2, that will already helpful, right? So
okay,
let's move on, because we need to cover today very important topic about salary discussions, right?
yes,
Because
yes, and the questions to the
but not in the
company.
interview. Yeah, we are shifting back to the interview.
Yes,
But
okay,
on the
let's
interview,
go.
that you were thinking which questions might be asked, right?
Yes,
And you already have more confidence how to respond to prepare your answers, right?
because this one was very tailor-made. Yes, to be honest, it was.
Good. So there is a
From
progress, right?
my point, there is progress on that.
Good. Okay. It's either Amal or Marat. Can you please share what's done, not done, what the questions you have?
Can I start?
Yep.
Well, I've been answering the first questions. Where is it?
Not about resume, but about interviews.
I mean, interviews in general?
No, I mean from the theory which I shared for the module 3, like what you have done from terms like this previous application tracker, this analysis, like what was from previous request, like how are you in terms of practice on the interview questions?
Regarding application tracker, I've been fulfilling it since October. And in some cases, I'm still waiting for the answers about the questions. So actually, I've been doing this question last week, and some of the questions, when I was making these answers, I felt, how it's called? Some questions were actually stressful.
And
I made my answers.
have you drafted your answers?
Of course. Like, describe the time when you successfully resolved a conflict at work. In general, I haven't been working as in a team.
So you don't have questions right now?
No.
Okay. So you keep going in terms of the skills, like
Mhm.
in terms of the like your version of the answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and I have a question. Do I need to answer these questions in from the perspective as I used to work, or from the perspective that is really I have the experience?
One more time.
When I was given those questions,
Yeah.
I need to answer to these questions as according to experience that I have,
Yes.
or according to experience that they want to hear from me.
No, according to the experience you have.
Okay.
Because if you would like they want to hear from you, like that will be like probably lying.
Mhm.
That you need to show like okay, and fairly like okay, that if you don't know something and you have not that experience, but you're interested to get this experience, you're showing through the motivation that's why you're applying for this position, because you want to get the this experience. You want to do this in practice that and showing them. That's exactly when I was referring to the interviews with recruiters and HR. They will be checking your motivation. Do you remember when I was showing the skill set gap analysis, the column, I think 6, right? So when you want to do that, this is your motivation, but you don't have the skill to do that, or you have only theory, but you don't have practical skills to do that. Actually, your motivation will outweigh that. The motivation will be weighting more than the practice, because when you have very high motivation to do that you will learn faster and you will start applying. So I'm referring to the skill set gap analysis again. But the one actually, if we start studying something and you don't have that skill, you have only theory, and you start like, but if you're checking like, okay, where you have not applied, like you had situations in the past when you can refer that you were very close to the subject. You also can mention that you contributed to that project to that extent and you got the interest in that direction. That's why you continue studying in this direction. And then, for example, I'm like now studying for PMI because it's project management is required. It's actually, I already used these skills on these projects, but now I am taking this and I am acquiring this qualification because I truly believe that it will benefit me in the future in any company where I will work for.
Understood.
That's referring to the skill set gap analysis. Yeah. If no more questions, then we will just move into Amalia, and then we will move into our.
Yes. Okay. Sure. So it's been a bit of a slow week for me, but I've been like just keep checking on like LinkedIn positions. So in that application sense, I gave my CV to 2 different people, which is my network. Nothing direct, obviously. It's just a more of a general thing. So I don't have any expectations of them yet, but if something comes out, great. The second part is I was looking at LinkedIn. I was scouting for positions, but I kept hesitating on, I don't think this is the right fit. I don't think this is the right job I want. I don't know this company enough for me to apply. And I'm trying to push myself to say, okay, just apply and just go through the interview process, even if you say no to the job. So this is my target this week. I hadn't worked much on the tracker, but I went through the theory of the managerial. And thanks for pointing that out. I was like, okay, maybe I can use it in where I apply for managerial position and I take a situation where I had in my current role and say, see, this was kind of a leading position, but I wasn't the manager. So I'll work. I still haven't. I just went through the questions, but I didn't really have any answers to it. And what I had one question regarding that. I got again. We're obviously using the STAR method or the Prada method, whichever fits the situation at this point. But is there anything specific, like in a managerial position, where the way I'm answering questions need to be like to that extent? So I think we'll cover that a little bit today. So this is my progress. I'm using the tracker, but again, because these are not set positions, I don't have a lot to add there. No skills get set gap and stuff like that. So, I like I said, future plan is like I'm gonna start applying on whatever is there just for the kick of like trying to interview and kind of figure out where it is.
Okay. Good progress. So the point is that like why I created a separate like workbook in PowerPoint, because you can download for yourself. And I will be adding more slides there with the questions, because what actually matters. If you save this file on your Google, and you can add the slides, right? So that under each question, not necessarily each question, just select the questions that you feel uncomfortable and you don't know how to respond. You just start typing your response. Like it will be like maybe let's say 3 sentences first, because this is the matter of practice. Then we will put the theory into practice and how it's better to respond. But I suggest first type your answer, right? So that like when you're speaking this, like okay, limit yourself to the 2 minutes or 1 minute, right? So that's like okay, how much time I'm spending for responding to this question. First, it will be unstructured answer, right? Then at the second rehearsal, it will be already structured answers. Because when we are speaking, sometimes it's like really not structured. When we put in writing, this becomes more structured, like 1, 2, 3. I want to tell about this. So sometimes it's better first, like using the phone and writing the notes or just speaking, look how you would respond on that, to convert this into text, copy into the presentation and seeing like whether it was structured or not. And then using your answer, go to the ChatGPT and stating like, for example, like you are a professional recruiter, just please assess like with this answer, with this question, I am responding this way, what the corrections I need to do for my response. Because you will get the feedback also from AI, whether your answer is structured, well understood, and this is also some sort of practice. It's a really good one. That because we first, when we're recording, we hear our voice, right? This is one like the of understanding or accepting the information. When you read, it's visual. When you type, it's already becoming almost visual, but it's already hands are involved here. So there's another part of the brains are involved. So it's involvement on the visionary, hearing, and then eyesight, and then like applying. So it's actually when you start seeing your answer, that how you would improve, because for example, it will be maybe a long, when you're recording the video, it's also another part, like when you will record a video of self-presentation, and for example, in CapCut, I think, yes, you can apply the transcription, like to text. And this is actually when the system will show you where you have many pauses and like, what do you need to delete? That's actually also very good tool to assess whether your speech is clear. Does it have some sort of, I don't know what's happened. Why it stopped sharing? why it's actually it will show the interval longer than usual. The system will show where you're stopping, because when we are stopping in our speech and self-presentation, what actually happens that we're thinking about that. But the target is that you will have your self-presentation, that you will be woken up at night and you can tell about yourself. That's actually in this is the level of confidence when you deliver the self-presentation. You just like tweaking this to the audience, what they want to hear, and you can like 30 seconds and tell. This is a practice. This is about the practice. 3 years ago, I had this problem when I was studying in different schools, online schools, and every time I need to present myself, I knew how to present myself for like the corporates, but I didn't know how to present myself for freelancers. It's a completely different audience. And then I think, okay, this is that one. So it's now I'm just like, people ask and I just go and tell. So this is actually the point, is this is a matter of practice. And you can record the videos and record yourself. That's like, the more you record, you will start seeing where it can be improved. It's continuous improvement, and step by step. It's just baby steps, like it's continuous improvement. You already started. That's the most important. You already started, like we just continue. Okay, if no questions, we're moving on, right? Questions like on the manager leader, did you had some special questions on that? Because I also was highlighting here, or what is your leadership style, DISC personality test that will help, because there was some questions to tell about what is the difference between leader and manager. So manager is more into controlling, leader is leading the people. It's about charismatic leadership. It's about carrying carrying the team and delivering the feedback. It's more about visionary. Manager is more controlling and just like to performance of the task. And actually, it's more better to balance this leadership and managing styles. The point is that when we ask such question about leadership, it depends on which position you are targeting to be. This is the point, that it's either they want to hire a manager or they want to hire a leader, and in which situation you will be applying the managerial leadership skills. So its leadership is more about influencing and selling the ideas and driving the performance, and it's more long term. When managing is more on the short term, like this task need to be performed. So it's actually, you see, it's like, okay, that you will be tested in a different described situation where you were successful and managed a tight deadline. That actually STAR formula will really help, right? Parada will also really help. That's like, I'm not going for the old questions, but this is more what I suggest, like now, like that we will practice now with the two types of this, like, okay, that like about like describing yourself as a leader, and motivational, like why you want to choose this company, but market is especially for you, right? The questions like, why did you choose our company and this position? It's actually, this is really correlates to the motivational letter, that we already responded in motivational letter why we want this position and why we want this job description or this company. And here we will think about like what's this to determine your motivation, understanding the priorities, but also like understanding, like to find out what they about the company, industry role. This is about the corporate culture and values. This is about making the impact. For example, you have your values in terms of the health. It's unlikely that you will go into the to the tobacco spirits like company, alcoholic drinks company, right? So that is actually, it's more about like really this than on the foundation, your core values, will be also correlating to the company values. Then why I was also like, what not to say, like possible reasons. Like this is actually like we are not talking that, okay, that you have specifically, we're just showing that, right? Work-life balance in the context that they have an easy job. Like this is the point, is that if in the values of the company they state they care about the people in terms of work-life balance or work-life integration, yes, we can tell because this is in their values here. You see line 2, company policies and values, because they already exhibited that and we related it. But if it's not shown, and it's, for example, some startup and it's very dynamic, it will be no work-life balance there because everyone is doing everything. And also when we choose the company, think about this. The company has the 3 stages of life cycle. It's startup when they're starting, like they enroll more dynamic people to drive, like because they want to have return on investment of this company to grow the business. It's usually year 0 to year 3. Then it becomes like, okay, the company already exists. It's life cycle of the company is happening like here, like delivering. It's more about the maintenance, because when they start up, it's about building the policies and procedures, processes that see, measuring that actually what actually work, which hypothesis of the business idea or the business model will work out. 80% of the companies will not go to the stage 2. Only 2% of the companies will be like really growing in the mega ones. So it's from business coaching, and I'm just applying this from business coaching. So startup, then it's like plateau. It's when the company is growing, that we are mostly targeting to the second stage of the company when it already have some processes and procedures. It's already company operational. It's maintenance of the processes, some improvements. And the last stage is anti-crisis management, where the company is also like see the decline in the industry, it's like going away, etc. This is anti-crisis managers. So the point is that which stage of the company you want to join, because it's more stable on the second, it's very dynamic on the first. On the second, it will be more like stable, just maintenance. But on the third one, when they have like not disaster, but they have like they're not following the market, it will be like restructuring, and they need it might be like they might restructure, it will be again another one, not startup, but again the maintenance. It might be like this, right? So constantly growing. The point is that where you will fit better, in which stage of the company you will fit better, because it might be both the second and the third, but the third one is like will be also quite stressful. The stressful areas, it's like the start and the end, right? So that actually that I'm already giving you some sort of idea, like from this recruitment school, like for what company is hiring, like what is the profile of candidate and what the candidate will be doing, and we need to understand to which stage, which life cycle of the company this candidate will be fitting more. I didn't know about that. I'm just like completed 2 blocks of this study. It's just wow, I need to share this with you. But on 22nd of March, I will open the next block and will just tell like what the recruiters asking, and I will translate and I will prepare for you the additional information which will be already not part of our like course, but you will have access to that, so that I will know what the recruiters and how recruiters are testing, like what exactly they ask and what is actually pluses and minuses, because I know how to hire from the business point of view, but there might be some secret questions how recruiters assess, right? Okay. Then like the positive thing that actually even examples of the answers, what I suggest now, I will keep it open, but I suggest we will go into the practice, because like the practice of the question why you want to join this company. For example, Margit, you will tell about your Siemens. This is practice for you, right? Meaning
Yes.
you will think about the like other like hypothetical companies which you would like to join. Maybe it's like not specific company. What I will put you in the breakout rooms, 2 and 2, and I will join one of the rooms to like, let's say 10 minutes for this practice, and then we will come back, and then we will go to the salary ones, because it's more important. Agree?
Yes.
Should we prepare an answer what to say to them, or what is really internal motivation to join the company?
Have you read the theory?
Module 3, no. Or here.
If you read the theory, then you choose, like, refer to the theory, open on your laptop, like this,
Okay.
like you have, because everything is given in the theory. Now we apply in the theory.
Fine. I'll just have a look on it now. Okay.
Yeah, that's why, Margaret, that's why I shared this already
Earlier.
Monday this week. You had time.
Yes.
Now
Okay.
you just go in opening and preparing.
Okay. Done. I have it now with me. Done. Okay.
Just a second. Okay. Did you get an invitation or not?
Got it. I'm inside the room.
Strange.
Because I'm just by 2 IDs,
okay,
so
it's
I
going.
got it from the laptop.
Yes,
One
and
is
it
called
should be, you should be joining there.
And Marat should be there. Marat, are you there?
Yeah, it's already, he is already there. Are you practicing the questions why you want to join this company?
Hello?
Oh my God. Okay. So the point is that we're just like, where is my recording, right? So we are moving to the candidates' questions. As I defined, I thought like that candidates' questions are very important. We will stay here in one room. We will not go in. Sellers will go in the rooms. The point is that which questions you ask in the past for the company when you were discussing, or if you have not asked questions, just tell I have not asked questions. But just to understand, have you asked questions in the past or not? And what the questions were?
I can go ahead. I have asked what is the expectation from the role, what are the short-term and long-term goals of the company related to that department, what are the opportunities for the employees to grow in the company, yeah, this kind of questions.
Okay, this is I put like all possible questions, and it's actually not limited. It's this part will be always can be like extended, right? So I remember candidates for Asia were asking me like, what does your please describe your day. Like that was very interesting question. Please describe your day. Like, can you please describe your day? What you're doing? Like that's like the from the start till the end. I've been like from breakfast time, like just like that was quite interesting to reflect also for me how I allocated time. Just also, and when we, for example, asking like what the person was doing, how the person like this person, this position, and how the person was performing on that position, like what the person was doing, because if you are replacing someone, right, so like what was actually happening, and if the person also like left or promoted, will be the handover, because it's also a red flag if the person is like it was some sort of restructure and there is no handover. That can be like really a red flag that something like happened, they fired the person and they joined it like it probably when you will join it will be a lot of mess. When I joined Honeywell, it was no 2 months the position was empty because person went for maternity leave, and then and they were waiting for me, and I had to clean up a lot of stuff, including some old taxes, etc. So that's why I'm just telling you that, like what the most urgent projects that require immediate attention. Actually, what I hear, like I also like the question, what is expected from me within the next 90 days, because that's promotion period, and they will highlight where attention needs to be paid to, like what is the most primary stuff needs to be done, because you will straight away to assess where you will be diving in. But sometimes they're not hiding, like they might not be showing all information. I remember when I agreed joining Middle East position, when I already signed the documents, it told like that will be integration of from Scala into Oracle happening in August. You're just like very surprised. I go, listen, why have not told me this during the interview, which was like 2 weeks ago. So this is like that, and mid integration of this ERP system implementation of the mid of the year. It's not fun. They didn't show, like they didn't share this information with me. Actually, it's also possible, like what are you going to do some implementations in nearest future, right? So like what's going on like in terms of IT systems, that also very helpful. Oh, they see that, is this a new role? If not, and where did the last person in this promotion move to? Very good question, because we understand like what has actually happened. Like if person promoted, that person will be able to help you with the handover and like explanation what's happening. I would also ask about this, well, especially training and development. I would be like asking on top of these questions, do you have a mentorship program? like more senior employees, like sharing the information. Can I ask for some mentor for the first 3 months to help me with this position, to integrate into the company, to complete my onboarding faster, because you don't have all this internal information, you don't know what's happening in the company. And this internal sponsor or internal more senior colleague will help you to orient in terms of office politics as well. What to tell, what not to tell, like how to interact, and like you can go and ask for advice, because on your own it will take much longer time to understand who is the main stakeholder. Ask about stakeholders, like to what, because if it's, for example, metrics organization, the position will be reporting just like one line, or it's also metrics organization, and what the KPIs. This is very important to understand, because you also grow your boss to grow. What the KPIs are really important, right? So this is about more performance evaluation. What are expectations for this role within the first 3, 6, and 12 months? 3 months, like this is promotion period, is really critical. I think there is one even book, how something like what to do in the first 90 days. I have not read this book, but I saw some of my American friends read it, right? So, but I was not reading this book. What is considered successful promotion period? And here, for example, at the end of the interview, is also possible to ask, like in the previous interviews, how the successful candidates look like. I mean, like what the not the features, the characters or skills of the most successful candidates. How they differentiate? What is actually what is the key skills the successful candidate needs, like really must have. Like the point is that we see the stakeholders, your hiring managers, this is like a main stakeholder for you, right? They differentiate you from like you will understand what is actually important for that person. And I always ask about, like, the corporate culture is not here, like it's just like here, right? About the company. When I go for interview, I ask the hiring manager, or if it's panel, like, what do they like about the company and what the corporate values they adhere to the most. Because from what this question, I understand what the answer of this question, I understand what is the main driver of the person. For example, my current boss, she responded me like 2023. She told, like, I like that I am given the authority to create the projects and drive them. It's freedom, right? She has Israel a lot of problems, but she has the authority to solve in EMEA and to drive the project. She is like given independency from US, like to drive in the EMEA, like big projects. That one was not part of the company values, but I understood what she is able to do, because what I understood that actually she wants to make the company better. And another interview asked, like, what is actually your values and what you like, and what is support of the project from stakeholder, who is the main sponsor, like what type of support I will have from the from stakeholders. And how they answer, I understand, like, okay, from whom I can get support and from whom I cannot get support. And the reality shows a little bit more information, but actually that helped me to also already build the links. When I joined, I thought, like, yes, do you remember we referred on during the interview, I asked this question, I need support on driving this initiative, whom I need to communicate to, can you please connect me with this person? Because I don't know all the people in the organization. So it's actually, it helps me to build straight away the network inside the organization and who are the main decision makers. And the quality, yeah, that's like this question I didn't know, like to say, like I also was collecting information that I was asking, will the onboarding be provided? That yes, will be provided. In reality, it was no onboarding. We created onboarding with my team ourselves. So it's like that's exactly the question. What challenges do the new employees typically face during onboarding? Very good question. Because if there are no recorded materials, if there is no training schedule, if there is no like already like the meetings in the calendar with the main stakeholders or other peers and colleagues, that it will be very difficult to get the information in a structured way. You will spend a lot of time out of your first 90 days to collect the information all together to build the picture, because they will wait for the performance already from month 2 or even from the second week, but you don't have the complete picture what is actually happening in the organization. These first 2 weeks, especially the first week, is very difficult. I suggest you to join on Wednesday, not on Monday. I'm just telling you because when you're shifting into this, like, okay, usually people start on Monday, but the first week, like you will have like first 3 days, like it will be like access to the systems one day, it's at the training, etc. You will have brief out like on weekend, and then like the second week it will be already complete, because on the first week you will be overwhelmed with information, and your brain will be like steaming, just like you need somehow to structure all this information. That my personal advice to you, to join not on Monday.
Very good idea. Very good idea.
Just telling from my personal perspective.
Yeah.
And some people from my team also joined, like, because all of them told like, listen, I cannot talk because it's so much information. I just like I told them that like it will be a lot of information, but we structured, and now the people onboarded within 1 week and like in a structured way, because I understand. I understand, because you are working in one company, you already know you are landing on the other side of the moon, and it's like you will need time to absorb, and it will be a lot of new people, new systems, a lot of corporate trainings.
Oh,
So you need to take care about yourself as well.
and they want results. They're asking for results, quick results.
And they want to have some quick results as well, right? So that's why I'm just telling you that my personal advice to join in midweek, right? And between changing the jobs, having few days off to recalibrate, just like normal, even going for medical check one, because you don't have time when you're working full time.
One
Rest
more
and sleep.
questions which I faced. It was asking about what is the plan? What is my plan for the 30, 60, 90 days plan for the company, not from them. I was being asked that.
So you can live only in 6 months.
Up
In
to
Czech
6.
Republic, we have 2 months notice period. In some
Yeah, yeah.
companies, we have 15 days only.
I remember the case what happened to me this January when I was in Astana, a company which hired me. I think, Olga, you remember? With a hydropower station.
Mm-hmm.
So it was exactly, I came at the company office on Monday, and I was given the huge amount of information that I didn't even know. So there was no onboarding at all. And I were struggling during the next 2 weeks and had no assistance. And at the end, I thought maybe I am the wrong person at this company.
Now you know what to ask, right?
Now I know exactly more than what to ask. Especially maybe I'm not belong to a company, or maybe the company don't belong to me.
Because like when you have, even you have like, for example, long list of the questions, like for example, when you're discussing, you also can embed, it's not only like you will be constantly in the interview, ask the questions, and then you will have the time only at the end to ask a question, so that you can embed like, okay, what about how it's happening in your company, right? So that you already can put some of the questions during the interview and asking the other side, like how it's managed in the company, like what will be like, is it does it correlate to you, like how you manage the situation in the company, because like you will see the feedback if it's different or not, or which systems they use, right? So that I always ask like, which systems do you use? Because my team was mostly on Oracle, no, SAP, and this company is Oracle Cloud, right? Or we never used Google Workplace, and it's just okay, Google Workplace, we know how to manage this, etc., or some specific systems. And then, and even company had no simple diagrams like the which systems to use and how the information flows. We created that. Data management company, right? So, like, very dynamic, but we had no time for that. So on the questions, on the sample of the questions is more or less clear, right? Let's move to the most interesting one. We have maybe like, we need 20 minutes, okay? We're a little bit like, our warm-up was a little bit longer. So this line put like the bounds here, but the questions are, what salary you're looking for? Like, why I'm just stating this, I put like more in bold in the lesson, but not in the theory. Here, when you will, do you remember last Sunday, I explained that you need to know the range.
Yes.
This range, like the market one, the minimum, you need to know the three numbers, like your minimum, the market range, and your maximum. In the interview, we are going with the minimum and market average, but you see, like, well, I'm currently have 35,000 and I'm looking for 40, and he will be given 40. This person will be given 40. They will, because it's better that you will lift, and don't tell your current salary. Just tell like, okay, there's like, I am just thinking like 40, 45, but like it's exactly the mentality. They're changing only by a certain percentage from this. SAP case, when my mentee told like, I want like 47 to 55, they gave her 47,500. In her case, she did not consult with me. In her case, I told her, listen, because we agreed like not less than 50, but she went down like, I just listen, between 50 and 55. I would be going with that, because usually that's happening, like raise a little bit higher and then just telling that, okay, this is like, there will be some way in the between. A company wants to save money, because on top of the salary, they pay social funds, the health insurance, and then etc. That in average they pay, it's estimated, let's say minimum 26 to 40%. What like, this is the, let's say it's salary, and the different funds and the taxes, like the different social funds what company pays, plus they also like calculate the training, etc., etc. So it's actually that for each employee, I consider they multiply it by 1.5 in order to assess the cost of employee. So in your interest to get more real money and also some benefits, which are not material way of benefits, and always think from the gross perspective. It might be the same level of salary, but the benefits which might have, like stock options, which will grow, that will be monetized, then like the meal tickets, some insurance for the entire family, like the gym membership, etc. But when you start thinking from that perspective, now a lot of companies start publishing the budget for the training So that they will be compensating. For example, they are giving also this package, and they're giving some thousands of something like local currency for the training. When you start comparing, always try to compare with the gross also. This is a package where you give the real money, but when you start discussing with the gross, it might be you will get in more in terms of non-material benefits, which you don't need to pay. But it's your income, but not materialized. So they see that like actually what is the range for the role? Or the role was advertised for this one, right? So what is the range? That's actually when you give the number, you will lose. You need to ask for the budget. When the company confirm like the range, what the factors determine whether, just putting myself, someone is offered the higher or the lower end of that range. So here is actually when you will be telling about that, okay, that higher and lower, it's actually here is your about success stories and skills. I have this. Do you think that's fair range for me? I am on the upper level of the market and even above the market because I have this. Like this, like this, like the examples, like next slides, the examples which I showed, like for example, this one, the ideal response. Based on my research in the industry standards, along with my experience and skills, I would expect a range like this. And I'm also opening to discussion the total compensation package. It's not salary, like salary plus package, including benefits, bonuses, and growth opportunities. Maybe they will be also willing to pay for some studies, right? So we're showing the market awareness. We are open for negotiation. And we are leaving the room for flexibility. And they will appreciate because they will tell, okay, this candidate is aware of the market average. He knows what he wants. And he also exhibits, because like, okay, along with my experience and skills, that's fair compensation for experience and skills. That is like politically correct answer based on my research in industry. So where to get industry research or standards, etc. First, Hayes recruitment company is publishing the reports, but I suggest to ask the question from ChatGPT because ChatGPT straight away will analyze, because now ChatGPT is connected to internet, and analyze, because you will specify in the request for which country, for which position, and it will do the analysis, and it will give the references for the articles where the salaries were published. I experimented for the Petrus question, and I published LinkedIn post after that, and I put like read the prompt I used. It gave the reference from 3 different articles, and with that response, she went to her management to discuss. I don't know how the discussion finished, but we gave some sort of real answers. But if you're above the market, this is about the skills and experience. Here we present like this, yes, expensive, but because I have this, like, do you have other candidates with that experience? The companies can go, if the hiring manager really like you, he will go outside of this budget. He will get in a request like to the top management. We have a very good candidate with good potential. And that I did this in the past twice. It worked out. If I saw the candidate is really good, I saw that like we are not in the range, I was justifying, and we were hiring the person like with that range, like with this, like with a new increased range, because we saw the potential of the candidate for future. But we need to be liked, right? So that experience and skills. It's not easy. The point is that here, just like to continue, that okay, deferring until more information available. That is specific, like I would love to learn more about the roles, full responsibilities, and expectations before discussing specific numbers. Could you share the budgeted range for this position? Some recruiters are telling like, okay, we like pushing back, but what I see that in when even on this project, I had certain budget, but when I saw that the candidate is strong, I could justify to my manager, tell like, listen, like that's the senior position, then I will put on her this, and she will be leading that. So the justifying that like, okay, we have still overall project budget and we can give this person more. And I was justifying that we are hiring some people in Poland on other positions on the lower than budgeted rates, because person, exactly, that was the case. Person asked for this value, even we had a higher budget, and so, okay, we just raised like this 500 zloty, and it's just like, okay, it's like 100 euro. Like, okay, we will go what the person wants, so just giving a little bit, but I'm saving the budget for the other person. Because just person told that he is okay to get this level. The third one, wrong approach. This I told like minimum, like that's like we need to know this minimum. Anything lower wouldn't interest me. So you see, politically, we already like some sort of defending ourselves. Like you see, instead of setting a hard limit, express openness to negotiation based on the total compensation, benefits, bonuses, and career growth. Because like here, it's like also, this is a game. We know below which amount we don't want to go, because that will be also not impacting our reputation. It's like inner satisfaction. It will be, our inner peace will be disturbed. But when we go in like, what is your budget and what is the gross in terms of like, it might be like some, for example, a startup, they might not be given the very high salaries, but they're given in the stock options. In Divya, I think when the owner gave like the stock options, that now this all shares grew so much that like the employees are almost millionaires. The point here that we need to leave a room for negotiation, so just to continue discussion. Because if we will have just tough shut door and that, okay, we will lose the opportunity to sneak into the door and get in something more. Because like one, just like, I'm open for the discussion, and just tell again, it says, I reassess my, that below that, it's actually what happened with me. When in the US position, they offered, but I asked my boss, what is actually, my previous boss, what is the range? And she gave me the range for this position. I thought I went a little bit higher. Let's say I was asking for like 10,000 more. We ended up in the middle. They gave me 5,000 more. So they're okay, because the rule is we never agree on the first offer. We leave the room for discussion, and always like putting a little bit higher, and in the middle you will be justified because you already asked a little bit higher. That okay. And if it's like you look at the gross and how you benefit from gross, because company might be like putting money in your relocation, and you might be able to take money from this relocation instead of company paying for you and saving on this, or something like that. You know, like it's like monetizing these benefits as well. Так, okay, the third one I missed. Like, I'm open to any fair offer that aligns with the company policy. Any offer, fair offer, any fair offer. Here you see there is no reference to the experience and skills. It's actually like it's showing the weak position that like Cat and Shrek cartoon. I am open for anything. I am just give me the job. I just open for anything. No, just like if you would change the wording here, I'm open for any fair offer that like aligns to like my experience and skills, and I'm open for further negotiations. That will be already sound a little bit better. Because here it's like the person will just not be able to any fair offer. Like they will go with the lowest one, but just always referring to your experience and skills. Because if you're already in the stage of negotiations, and it's usually HR does these negotiations, then this is actually you are selected on a very high level. You already passed all the interviews. It's only that level, like just okay. They need to justify, like they're preparing the job offer. Usually they contacting with these questions when they're preparing the job offer. They're already thinking like to preparing the job offer. I had a case when it was year 2001 when recruitment agency from Moscow were hiring for Oracle. I passed all the interviews. Then I paid for my flight to Moscow Oracle, and I passed the interviews also with the GM Oracle in Russia, and but the position was for Kazakhstan. And I know the issues of the company, so we discuss all the way one salary with the recruiters, external recruitment agency, with this like. And I'm getting offer. I'm coming to the office. I'm getting offer, and I see completely other number. And they were not like that. We discuss on other level, and I just getting this, and I just told like, listen, it's not the value which we're discussing. I got no. You are too. They told like, you had not had enough experience of managing people. That's why we like reduced. I go, how many days I have for response? I got 3 days. I go, and okay. I'm not responding now. I'm not signing anything. I will respond. So what I did, I flew back to Almaty. I prepared the answer to the general manager. It's like exactly, I didn't know that answer, so I did board in my, even in actually to HR, I thought like, okay, listen, it's most likely I will not accept this. You have another 2 people in the queue after my back. Like it's just because I know that they have interviewed other candidates, like probably they feel better, but this is below my level of dignity or something like that. I responded with it like true confidence and thanked for the interviews, for this like paying for hotel and for the flight. The answer. I sent the response. I rejected this offer. When it was when Oracle bought Sun Microsystems, my ex-boss was working on Sun Microsystems. And I go, are you working with this person? I go, yes. I just sent my best regards to him. And how do you know him? I was not telling anything because that time he was my boss when I was interviewed the company. It was like already 2-3 years later. Can you imagine the general manager remembered me for the answer I provided in the rejection of the offer? I have not lost my face, and I still remember in Oracle. And then Liesl from the mentoring club, she was had the similar situation, and actually the same year in another geography, she told she also rejected the offer. And how we know that? Okay, we were not hired by Oracle because we rejected their offers. Okay, guys, this is one. This the 5th one, the 5th. This is the best one from my research. In discussions with industry professionals. That's why we need the network. Glassdoor also very helpful on that. By the way, Glassdoor salaries. A competitive range for this role in the market. This based on my background and the value I bring. People, you see the value I bring, not only culture fit, culture add, the value I bring. I would expect something in that range. However, I would love to learn more about the overall compensation structure. I think now with these answers, you will be already better fit, but it's not over. This is more tougher ones because when the company is like really testing you, like your strengths in terms of salary, this is the formula for the uncomfortable questions, yes and what. So that might be the question, like, why do you want such a high salary? Isn't too much in this situation? Agreeing, yes, with agreeing with a certain fact, specifically an undeniable detail, emphasizing something common or positive, and asserting the right to one's own point of view. Yes, probably for you it's considered high, it's above market average. And what? Asking a counter open-ended question to shift the dialogue away from the comfortable place. Like, what is your opinion about that? That's how I was discussing with HR in the US. They thought like, okay, you're already very high in American level. Like, what my counter argument was, and telling like, have you had the people with experience of stabilizing Middle East and doing the business transformation in Asia, in Asia Pacific? Like, not many. I'm told you don't have one, except me. That's why it's expensive. And she had nothing to respond. This is about the value you are delivering to the company. You just can't tell like, okay, I had similar situation in the past. Like I could sort, and I know what the problems are, right? So like, I know how to solve them. If they want, they will be, but they will be testing. You see, it's actually, this is the example. This is example of the same answer. Yes, salary negotiations are part of interview process, and I'm glad we have reached this point. I have researched, and how much of priority is automation for the company right now? What are the task directions are currently prioritized for the business? We are referring to their problems. You see, that's like, this is psychological, but it's also based on the formula, and that you can prepare your answers for these questions. We cannot prepare for the whole variety of the questions, but you will have by baseline to be prepared. How do you feel now?
More clear and more tricked, actually.
I know
No,
this
it's
is the
different.
most like tough part like of the conversation, like about salary, but we are selling our health and time.
What I can say is probably to have this, to have written down this kind of questions and answers and repeat them many times, because when you are in a stress environment, of course, it doesn't come to your mind easily. So once you have memorized all these answers, it will be much easier for you to stand for your position. So definitely it's good to prepare in advance, have it written and repeat it several times so it is memorized well. And then when you are in such a situation, of course, you can use it to counterattack the recruiter.
You see, we had like walked from the very simple answers to the most complex, because when we in the real environment, we will start understanding like we will understand which scenario we need to apply, because this one is the toughest scenario. This is actually like ace, like when we just like need to play cards. This is the last card, like when we just like, okay, this is very strong. Yes, and what? This is the toughest one. This is actually like this HR themselves like told this formula. The point is that when we know how to respond, we can put the content already based on the situation. Remember how we respond with the confidence, and what level of confidence we respond. The point is that from the simple, we know what not to tell and what to ask. Like it will be gentle, and then we'll be like, okay, tougher and tougher, but it's actually, we always need to walk out with dignity. If you see that, how to say that? The point, yes, the company are like really dictating now the packages, because the budget is actually, the market trend is not really good, etc. The point is that how you value yourself. Maybe for this point of time, like if you see that salary is the same, but the growth is bigger, or they are giving very good learning opportunities, it depends on the life situation at the current moment. It depends on like how much the financial security you have, right? So, or just like joining the company for a certain period of time of 1 year to learn something, to get the skills and go in. If, for example, change in the industry, do you remember the zigzag career? If we change in the industry, this is zigzag career. We are going for maybe one position down, and maybe slight decrease in salary. It's like slight level. But within 1 or 2 years, we are regaining that because we need to know how this industry works. And in this, we within 1 or 2 years, we are back on track and for growth. Because in general, Lilith, now is automotive business not in good shape, right? That's why it's like in Germany and in Belgium, and now it's what's happening with Tesla, right? So that's also political moment, and that's actually shaking, right? So the point is that like how to divert in the right direction in the right industry where it's a growth and a good compensations, which industry is like really like rewarding. Of course,
Yeah.
it's like then in order to go to salaries level, like we need to pass all levels on the job search funnel, have wider range of this like job search funnels, like channels to seeing, and personal brands. Now I will share the screen like what you read in one article that most likely people who are present on social network, that CEOs, etc., that the people are more likely to join these companies when they see who are working there, how they write about like the company, etc., how they're present, right? So the point is that the personal brands is giving these dividends of the like from LinkedIn online presence. That's actually I am very busy now. I'm not present much, but I'm meeting like let's say 12 actions per week just through the commenting. I'm not doing much, like maybe one post or one repost. But the point is that I see how the algorithms working down. When I start publishing and when I just do like really good content, I see how it's going up. So I see how many people look at my profile. This is the point. Just a second, like stop sharing. So do you have questions about salaries? Just a second, like let me on LinkedIn. Let me show you something very quickly. I know that we're running out of time, like very quickly. For example, finance manager. I'm just showing you something, and when you do the search, also not only people go for this. For example, you do the jobs. You see
Jobs.
how many jobs. You will put like the set alert here, like geography, Egypt, like Market. This is for you, like like
Yes.
this is like all possible. But like you can change the geography, and here, for example, you can put also or and or like I was doing some sort of like, for example, this one, like experimenting and or, because it's how recruiters also searching for people, and also they saw the person and somewhere in your post might be open to work. I don't recommend to put because it's for contractors, but well, you can put the hashtag under your post open to work, because the recruiters will be also searching for that. Now they eliminated hashtags in the profile, but what I wanted to show you, groups. Go for these groups. Join the groups of your potential, because I put it like finance here, but it will show you all the groups in the Geode worldwide, because for me it's showing even Canada and the United States. Join the groups, because in these groups, when you join, you will be able to publish your, like, you're open for new opportunities, or you can comment other industry leaders or their articles and expanding your network. Like, because you might be commenting like, oh, this is a really good article, or I use the same, and using the success stories, you can describe like, I use this and it helped me to grow or to deliver the project with a success. Like, thank you very much for sharing. I'm taking this insight into my baggage. So this is like not know-how, but I'm just telling that for you, it's know-how. I am part of some groups, right? Because you see that this is actually, yeah, but they like select, and then you will have, dedicated geographies, or you will have your professional network expanded.
I always do it
You
for
see?
jobs.
You
not-
see, account manager group, Market, account
Cool.
manager group, sales
Yeah,
executive management, right? So then
this is
that's actually
totally.
showed a lot of on.
Yeah, I always search in the jobs, but not in the groups. And I'm putting some favorite companies.
I know one procurement group is very active. That's all from my side. I am stop sharing. Guys, I know that we're around the time. I don't know whether you want to practice on the salary questions or leaving this to the next session. It's enough.
I need to run, yeah.
No issues.
But it was very helpful, Olga. Thank you for the opportunity to practice in the breakout rooms about the values of the company, and definitely for giving all the heads up about the tough questions during the interview. Definitely we need to practice it, and maybe next time we can do it in a better, more efficient way.
We are meeting next Sunday, and then we'll have like personal mock interviews. Right. So have a nice Sunday. Enjoy it. I will place recording today, and I will start preparing the information for like it will be not much information. Like, guys, that actually 80% you already have. With this 80%, you already if you practice questions, they're already ready for interviews.
We really thank you, Olga.
I will send some sort of survey that they will put something like to it, that like it's actually because we are better part of the course is already finished. Okay.
So next time it will be a little bit of theory or not? A bit of practice and then mock interview?
No, it will be next time. It will be more practice, because it will be theory only in AI on the virtual interviews, and some sort of follow up, how to follow up. It will be not much. That the most of the theory is already gave you. That's actually about the technique. It will be more technical, but like how to keep upgrading your skill of interview with AI, and what AI tests during the interview. It's like
Okay.
big companies start using this. So the point is that like now it's on you, like, to practice the questions.
And then we will have a separate mock interview, or it will be also
mock interview. It will be individual.
Okay, understood.
Just I put the question, not the questions, like the slots. I think most people already selected that. Actually, on mock interview, we will go through the main questions I will be asking. Then I will give in the recommendations. Then we will do rehearsal again, so that like to see that actually taking feedback into action, because this rehearsal of interview is really helpful.
Okay.
It will be like prototype of interview, but with feedback.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good
You're
Sunday.
welcome. Have a nice Sunday.
Thank you very much, Olga.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.